All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of 2023 for the Yellow Card Podcast, Season 2, Episode 11, presented to you, as always, by myself, your host, Diego, my co-host, Chris Jones. Jonesy, how you doing? Happy New Year, brother. We're both suffering from the lashes of the very first weekend of 2023, it seems. Other than that, how you doing?
Zoom lied to me. They said that Karen wouldn't yell at me when the meeting started in 2023, and she's already done it, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah, Rebecca's at it, mean and large and mean. So,
God damn it, Amanda.
But Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of our listeners, to all of our followers, to everybody watching us over YouTube or however else you're catching our episodes on a weekly basis. Welcome to 2023. A lot to happen this year. Be on the lookout. Some announcements coming up very, very soon. We promise you. I know we've been teasing an announcement coming out for the past 2 weeks. I'll tease it up a little bit more, but the announcement will be coming within the next few days here. Make sure that you're following us on TikTok at Yellow Card Pod on TikTok, Twitter, Podcast Card, YouTube, and Spotify. Just look us up, Yellow Card Podcast, Boston, Mass, and we're right there. Anyways, let's get to the beef of this episode, because we got some English Premier League conversations to talk about, EFL, January transfer window, and a bunch of other things. But I know Jonesy has something that he wants to get out of his chest immediately.
I did. I want to give our sources a lot of credits today, because we broke the news that Hugo Lloris was going to be retiring from international football. We broke it 3 minutes before Fabrizio Romano tweeted it.
Yep.
So credit to us, please.
Yep, that's exactly right. Yeah, we had sources indicating that there was going to be a big announcement coming out of the French national team. We knew that the retirement will be coming for a bunch of those guys. I mean, it came already for Karim Benzema. It's coming for Hugo Lloris. There could be more announcements coming up, but for now, we know as far that Benzema and Lloris have retired from international duties. Didier Deschamps has gotten a extension to his contract up until 2026. So we'll continue to follow all the conversations there and whatnot. But in the meantime, let's get to it. We got January transfer window news already happening, very beginning of January, and there's already some major moves happening already. We got the English Premier League, EFL Cup happening tomorrow and on Wednesday. We got the FA Cup that just happened over the weekend. We got fourth round matches to announce here. And on top of that, we just gonna talk about some January transfer targets that we should keep an eye out for. So without further ado, Jones, why don't you go ahead and pick the first topic of the night, and let's get to it.
Spinning a wheel on my phone for the topics. I click. And we have January transfer window.
All right, let's talk about the January transfer window to begin with. Where do you want to start off?
Let's talk about the deal that's going to take place within the next 48 hours. João Felix with a loan to Chelsea.
Yeah, so according to several sources that we have here, the Yellow Card Podcast, as well as several other leaked rumors as well throughout the internet, this deal is actually concluded and done. It is a loan move until the end of the year for João Felix, with the potential to extend to next year. Actually, what Chelsea's looking to do is get a loan and potentially buy him off of Atletico, as Atletico is presumed to continue with Diego Simeone at the helm of things over there. Chelsea, actually the third English team to be interested in the Portuguese services, considering that Manchester United and Arsenal have both rejected getting involved with him. They just didn't see a fit for both of their schemes right now. This will be a phenomenal fit right now for Chelsea, considering that Christian Pulisic is out for due to injury. So is Raheem Sterling. This gives them an opportunity to finally get some creativity again in their attack, as their form as of lately has just been lackluster. What are your thoughts?
For Chelsea, it makes sense because look, they want to be able to compete. They want to be able to get back in the Champions League, and in order to do that, they have to go on a little bit of a run here. If we look at it, all the teams ahead of them, you have Arsenal is better than Chelsea. You have Manchester City who's better than Chelsea. You have Newcastle, who I would say is better than Chelsea right now.
Yeah.
Tottenham's better than Chelsea. Manchester United's better than Chelsea. Liverpool's better than Chelsea. This is a move that helps Chelsea for this year, and realistically, they're only paying, I think, 11 million euros in salary for him,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is a
Mm-hmm.
steal.
Mm-hmm.
So if Yao Felix is as good as people say he is, then we'll see Chelsea really, really contending. But I have a sneaking suspicion that he flops at Chelsea.
I agree with you. I think he could be a massive flop for Chelsea. I do think as well that there's a lot at risk here with getting a full agreement on personal terms and all that stuff, as well as the loan deal itself. Just simply because this is a guy that is prone to injury. He's not much of a physical um, attacker, which you need to be in order to succeed in the Premier League. Um, to me, it just doesn't give me that appeal. But again, well, only time and experience will tell how this guy will work for Chelsea.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think to focus on the EPL more, Arsenal's definitely going to be in line because Mikel Arteta said today we don't have many options up front, and not having Gabriel Jesus for a few months isn't easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, couple names forward wise, what do you think would be a good fit for them?
Forward wise for them, I think they need to start looking at. I think they need to start looking at several leagues. Also, potentially considering some South American leagues to look at. There are several offers out of Brazil. A lot of new talent coming out of Argentinian soccer league. Mexican league also has some talent to offer as well. They can make some investments here in America. They can go for some of the guys here in the MLS that are still relatively young and are good strikers, and that will cost them little to nothing almost. They can look at Benfica. They can look at the Turkish league as well. They can get some loan deals as well. I think they have several options there though for forward.
Yeah, I've seen they've been linked to the Shakhtar Donetsk guy.
What's his name? Remind me.
Um, I'm I'm not gonna be able to say it, to be honest with you. It's geez, my wow. Yeah, no, there's a lot of consonants in there.
Oh, Mikhailo Mudrik.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah, no, he would be a great option. He is a young one. He's what, 22, 23.
Yep.
Small deal at 20 million euros, which for the Premier League, that's pretty small, considering that a lot of strikers now are going upwards of 50 to 60 to even 70 million euros. He's definitely got the physicality there available. So
I do think another one, another name to watch out for, maybe even a couple. Marcus Thuram from Gladbach could be a good one for them as well. I mean, we saw how well he performed in the World Cup and how he's performed, at his time at Gladbach. I think he'd be a great fit for them, adding a depth piece, a depth forward. They're not going to need to pay a ton of money for him. And I think for Arsenal, realistically, in order to stay afloat and to continue to be this number one, they need to get reinforcements. They need to add to their depth. And in order to do that, you're going to have to shell out some money. And we know that Arsenal really hasn't done that since Arteta has taken over, but something's going to have to change.
No, I agree. I definitely agree with that for sure. Another person they can also keep an eye on for is one of the Barcelona up and coming talents in their academy, and that's Alejandro Balde. I know that both Arsenal and Newcastle have inquired heavily about the possibility of landing him in this January transfer window. So that's a guy to definitely keep an eye on for.
Yeah, and listen, we have so much time still. I think before the transfer window really starts to get interesting. So a lot of speculations now, but I think within the next week we'll start hearing more and more rumors. If guys want out, I mean, I know we've seen a lot of guys get linked to Manchester United, including the star 20-year-old Croatian defender.
Oh, Guardiola,
He played for
Josko Guardiola.
played
He's
for
got the
them in the
mask.
World Cup. Yep,
Yeah, Josko.
he's been linked.
Guardiola.
I think Oliver Giroud's been linked as of
Mhm.
lately. I think they officially get Diego Dalot back.
I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, right now they're two things going for Manchester. For Manchester United, one of them is getting him, and I think the fact that Glazers sell Man United is trending on Twitter.
I love that, and it's gonna continue tweeting. It's gonna continue trending on Twitter. I mean, at this point, it's just one of those things that just needs to be done. Just close out the deal, end it once and for all.
Who's the what? Weghorst, right? Is it Weghorst? That's
Yeah,
another guy.
Well, Workhorse from the Netherlands has been severely linked to Manchester United as the potential replacement of Cristiano Ronaldo. Anthony Martial, I mean, he's been good and whatnot, but so many injuries have been really affecting his performance this year. He's been good, he's been decent. The problem with him is he is very inconsistent. One year when he's without somebody that can participate and give him a run for his money for his position, he's excellent. But once he's got
Mhm.
competition, he disappears. He's got nothing to offer. You
Right.
kind of need to be competitive, especially in this market where everybody you're on the eyes of everybody, especially in the English Premier League. So
There is one guy from United that if he were to leave, I'm not saying that he will. I'm not trying to put out any reports that he's unhappy, but this player's probably in the best form that we've seen him be at with the club. It's Marcus Rashford.
oh
Marcus
yeah.
Rashford would make so much money if he were to leave Manchester United. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it will happen because I think he likes being at Old Trafford, but I would not be surprised at how much money they could get for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's been heavily linked to with a move to PSG. I don't see that potentially happening at all. I don't think the French league is where he wants to compete, considering that he is at the top league of leagues right now in all Europe, competing at the highest level. Yes, he doesn't have the opportunity to continuously go to the Champions League and potentially win that right now, which he would get that with PSG.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's that competitive environment that still allows him to be a top player in a league that continues to rise. If he was to go to a Spanish La Liga, that would be different. With Legun, there's only five,
Yeah.
6 teams that are maybe competing to PSG's level. So
Right. No, I agree with you 100%. I think if you were to go to one of the top three in La Liga, I think there's a lot of money that could be used for him. Don't think it'll happen right now. Maybe down the line in a year or so. You never know. But the way he's playing right now is a big part of the reason why Manchester United has been as effective as they have been.
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly to that. Yeah.
All right. Any
So
other January transfer stuff?
yeah, not so much of a transfer window news or whatnot, but these are news that broke out this morning. Roberto Martinez has been officially confirmed as the new boss for Portugal. His massive plan right now is he's been working on a phone call to be scheduled to be had with Cristiano Ronaldo to see if he would decide to come back to the national team for one last round. In his interview, in his acceptance of the job, in his interview, he said, you gotta respect somebody who's been giving you all to to this national team, and you got to treat him with respect. It was almost like a dagger sent out to Fernando Santos, which I think we all can agree that last game was just unnecessary of Santos to do that. So more to be expected. We'll see what Roberto Martinez's plans are for Portugal, what he has as ideas, and what kind of recruiting he's looking to do. But that is the new boss at Portugal.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like it, especially with the Euro qualifiers coming soon. It's one of those things you have to look forward to. And I think, realistically speaking, I think the potential send off for Cristiano Ronaldo's career could be a second Euro win.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. I mean, I think, as maybe it's not as effective as Roberto Martinez had been in club football. I think in national football, though, he was effective. It's not his fault, though, that locker room was just built with a lot of egos and personal problems. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne and Thibaut Courtois haven't spoken to each other in years after an affair with one of their girlfriends, Eden Hazard, saying what he had to say about the team without consulting permissions or anything. The whole entire team kind of fell apart this year. That was not his fault. That's the guy tried to do as much as he could with, putting a Band-Aid over something that desperately needed big time surgery. So,
Yeah, no. So I don't know. Kind of curious to see what Belgium looks like moving forward as well, because they were probably one of the better talented teams that have yet to win anything. So,
yep, I agree. All right, let's move on to the next topic of the night. Let's go over to the English Premier League. We got some record updates to be put out here. We got some predictions to deliver as well. So let's get to it. After last weekend's actions, the records for the boys are as follows: myself at 93 and 76, Jones at 81 and 88, kind of starting to make a comeback after having a little bit of a tough start to the end of 2022.
The comeback would be if I was 88 and 81.
It could very well be, 88 and whatever this next week. So we'll see what that does. But let's get to it. So you want to start writing out the names and we'll go with the predictions?
Yeah, the first one we got Fulham at home against Chelsea.
I'm gonna go with Fulham winning this one at home against Chelsea. Chelsea's just not in the form that they need to be. I'm going 2-1.
Chelsea on the road this year has been great. 3-2-4, only getting points in 5 out of 9, just above 50%. Not a great number there. Fulham 4-3-2 at home, getting at least a point in 7 out of 9 games. I think they get a point. I don't think they get 3. I'm gonna actually go with a 0-0 draw here for this one.
All right, 0-0 draw. Like it.
All right, Aston Villa hosting Leeds.
I got Aston Villa winning this one against Leeds. I got 3-1.
Leeds away from home has been abysmal. 1-2-5 this year. Villa has been much better at home than they have been on the road. I do like them at home for an advantage. I'm going to go Villa 2-1 in this one.
Yep, I like it.
All right, the Manchester Derby, United hosting City. This is a big one. This is a top 4 battle, by the way, 2 and 4 going at it.
Yeah, this is a top four battle. Very close. Everybody there. I mean, the only difference from 4th place to 2nd place is 4 points, which could be determined with this match here this weekend. I think the momentum this week is going a lot towards Manchester United's side. They all seem to be in top form, competing heavily in some of the major tournaments already happening across Europe and in England. I'm going 2-1 Manchester United at home. Let's not forget also one of the biggest losses that Everton had at his beginning of his career was a 4-0 loss against Manchester City in the game that he sat Ronaldo for the entirety of the game, and he got so criticized for. This is a time where he doesn't have Ronaldo. This is a time where the whole entire locker room is united in Manchester. I think we see a different Manchester United than what we saw the first time that they came around.
United sitting at 6-1-1 at home this year. I think one of the big things for me, United's sitting in like the lower part of the league in goals for, only having 27 so far this season. They do only concede 20. However, but Manchester City has put up 45 goals so far this year, leads the English Premier League. They're only 5-2-1 on the road, not terrible. I do like what you think. I think United puts up a valiant effort here. I think it's 1-1 at one point, and City comes back and goes out on top. I think City wins 2-1.
Okay.
All right, Brighton hosting Liverpool. Liverpool's 2-2-4 away from home. They've been abysmal away from home this season. Brighton 3-2-3 at home. However, I do like Liverpool in this matchup. I think seeing Cody Gakpo play in the FA Cup this past weekend against Wolves gives me a little bit of confidence here. I think they win 2-1.
Okay. It's Brighton at home. Brighton has been very good at home against top six teams. Liverpool is part of the top six at the moment. I think they hold their ground, but I don't think they beat Liverpool. I'm going 1-1 draw.
Okay. Next one, Everton and Southampton. Everton at home, 2-2-5. Southampton's 2-0-7 on the road. It's a coin flip game for me. I think. I don't. Everton's side lately has not been playing well. They're very much so in relegation zone right now, as they're sitting currently with 15 points. The only reason they're in the relegation zone is because West Ham has a better goal differential than they do. But a win gets them out of it for a little bit. But I think they get a point. I'm going to go 1-1 draw.
For me, I think this is the season where I have predicted already that Southampton will be relegated. Not a lot has changed since I made the prediction earlier in 2022. Not a lot has changed here in 2023. I went with Everton winning this one 2-0.
Okay. Next game I have Nottingham Forest and Leicester City.
Yeah, these teams are actually fairly equal when it comes to what they have to offer in their attack and how they're facing each other. Nottingham Forest has been decent so far lately. Leicester City starting to pick up their own ground a little bit, not to the level of being a top 6 team, but at least being able to give us a reason as to why they're still in the Premier League. I'm going 1-1 draw between these two.
I'm surprised it took us this long, to be honest. I just Nottingham Forest is good at home. I just don't think they're good enough to beat a team like Leicester right now. I like the 1-1 draw here. Nottingham Forest has gotten a point in 6 out of their 9 home games so far. Leicester's gotten a point in 3 out of their 9 road games. Would make you want to take Nottingham Forest in that aspect. However, I do like the draw for both teams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, Wolverhampton and West Ham.
West Ham's been lackluster. They made a lot of moves in 2022, and not one of them has worked. Skamaka continues to be just a decent signing, but not the definition to get West Ham out of the relegating aspect of things. I'm actually going with Wolves winning this one 1-0. They are at home, and they are one of the most difficult teams to face in the Premier League when it comes to their home field advantage.
Yeah, I mean, listen, West Ham sitting at 1-2-6 on the road this year, points in 3 out of 9. Wolves 2-2-5, points 4 out of 9. I don't know. I'm gonna go same score. I'm gonna go different way though. I think West Ham takes this one, 1-0. All right, Brentford and Bournemouth. You got Brentford, who beat Liverpool this past week at home. They just did a 4-4-1 at home. They're getting points in all but one game. Bournemouth, horrendous on the road. They're 1-2-6. I had a 0-0 draw here, but I'm talking myself into Brentford. I'm going to take Brentford. 1-0.
And it continues. I agree with you. Brentford winning against Liverpool makes me feel confident in betting for them for 1-0 on their favor. Bournemouth has just been awful and away from home, so there's a perfect
See,
opportunity for Brentford
this is
to pick up another 3 points.
this is where the gambler in me comes in, because I sit here and I go, okay, Brentford looked really good against a good team in their last one. Who's not? Who's to say that they're not going to have a letdown spot against a team like Bournemouth?
Yeah, no, I
So
agree.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bournemouth beats them. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a draw, but I have Brentford winning 1-0.
I like it. I like it.
All right, Chelsea and Crystal Palace.
I got this one being actually a very challenging game for Chelsea. Crystal Palace is not an easy fit at all. I'm going actually a 2-2 draw.
So it's at Chelsea, Palace away from home. We've gotten a point in over 50% of their road games. Chelsea has gotten a point at home and 75% of their home games. I'm doing math, 25, 50, 75, yep, 6 out of 8. I'm actually going to go Crystal Palace in the upset here. I think they win. They go into Chelsea and they win 1-0.
Okay.
Newcastle hosting Fulham.
I got Newcastle winning this one. They're very competitive right now in that number 3 spot in the Premier League, going 2-1 Newcastle.
I also have them 2-1. I think for me, it's simple. Newcastle's gotten at least a point in every single home game so far this year. They're 5-4-0 at home. Newcastle has one loss. They have one loss. They have 9 wins, 8 draws, and a loss. I think Fulham, it's either they're very good, they're playing well on the road, or they stink. There's no in between for them. I'll take Newcastle squeaking one out 2-1.
Okay.
Then the final one, we have the North London Derby. Derby. We have Tottenham and Arsenal.
Yeah, this is a derby that tends to be very one-sided. If one team won the previous game, then the other team is winning the other one. The past 5 games it has been like that. Arsenal has picked one. Tottenham has picked one here. Arsenal picked up the last derby that they had, winning 3-0 over Tottenham. I do think this is the one time where Tottenham gets the leg up on them 1-0.
So you're talking about that trend, how they flip flop wins. I think that cycle ends here, but I think it's a 1-1 draw. I think we finally see Tottenham have a draw at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
All right. Nothing wrong with that.
And that's all that I got.
I like it. Let's go over to what next?
We got FA Cup matchups.
Let's announce those.
All right, so right now what we have here, I think the big one is in the 4th round we are getting Manchester City versus Arsenal. That is a very good one, top to bottom, something you want to look forward to. The other draws, we have Tottenham versus Preston North End, Southampton versus Blackpool, Wrexham versus Sheffield United, Ipswich Town versus Burnley, Manchester United is taking on Reading. The winner of Luton Town Wigan Athletic, that will take place at the beginning of next week, gets Grimsby Town. Derby County gets West Ham United. Stoke City gets Stevenage. The winner of Blackburn and Forest Green gets Blackburn gets the winner of Forest Green or Birmingham City. Walsall gets Leicester City. Sheffield Wednesday gets Fleetwood Town. We have Fulham and Sunderland. We got Brighton getting the winner of Liverpool and Wolves. We have Bristol or Swansea getting the winner of Chesterfield and West Brom. And then we have the winner of Cardiff City and Leeds gets Bournemouth and Accrington Stanley. Those are your 16 FA Cup matchups for round 4.
Round of 32, baby.
Some potential good matchups here. FA Cup takes place Monday the 16th, I believe.
Tuesday the 17th.
Tuesday 17th, the round 3 replays.
I like that Leeds versus Cardiff game. I think it's heavily underrated game, but it's actually going to be very good action to be paying attention for. So
yeah, no, for sure. Definitely some good FA Cup action coming up with the next couple of weeks as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, clearly I need to eat something. All right, let's go over to the EFL Cup. We are in the quarterfinals at this point. We got 4 matches coming up between tomorrow and Wednesday. Those matches being Manchester United versus Charlton, Newcastle.
United's get that one.
Newcastle taking on Leicester City, Nottingham Forest on Wolves, and Southampton versus Manchester City.
Man City.
So your prediction that the final 4 will be Manchester United, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, and City?
Wolves.
Wolves. Okay. All right, let me put those down. So United. I'm gonna go with United, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, and City.
I like it. I like it a lot.
What do you foresee this being the first trophy in the Erik ten Hag era for Manchester United, or do you believe that this is a Manchester City title for them to win?
I think either it goes to Erik ten Hag and Manchester United, or it's the first trophy for Eddie Howe and the Newcastle United.
I like that. I like that take too.
I don't think City wins this.
I don't think so either. I think if City is to land somebody like Newcastle or even Wolves in this round, it's just too much of their physicality to ask for.
To be honest, I don't think they put their best lineup up there against Southampton. I think Southampton has the chance to beat them.
Could be, yeah. Could very well be. Yeah, an upset could be coming. So we'll stay tuned to that Nottingham Forest, Jesus, to that quarterfinal round. We'll update it on our Twitter page and all that stuff. Any final thoughts?
No. Happy trails to Gareth Bale, who is retiring from professional football.
Golf, baby. Golf. Other than that, that does it for episode 11 of season 2 here at the Yellow Card Podcast. Make sure to stay tuned for a big announcement coming up in the next few days here from us. Make sure that you're staying up to date on the Yellow Card TikTok, Yellow Card Pod on TikTok. A lot of content coming up there. You might see the two of us doing some content there next week. Who knows? We'll see what we got for you. But in the meantime, signing off. Diego, Chris Jones. Until next episode. See you all later.
Peace.